This is Jeremy Sports Network coming to you live. Hey, you guys. Shawn Porter just defeated Andre Berto, 9th round TKO stoppage by the referee. Man, this was a hell of a fight. I mean, it was good from the beginning to the end. We could talk about the headbutts, but everybody know they were accidental headbutts throughout this fight because of the molding of Shawn Porter, how he's so relentless and coming after his opponent. And I'm talking about soon the guys tie up, the referee break them apart. Boom, Shawn Porter's right there again. He's all up in Andre Berto's face. I mean, I was just texting my boy Jay from Orlando, telling him like, hey, Shawn Porter is in he is in Andre Berto's shit. Like literally. I mean, not once did he give Berto an opportunity to just sit there and just like box at all. Berto couldn't do nothing because of the molding of Shawn Porter, and not only the molding of Shawn Porter of what he was doing, but when Shawn Porter was molding, he wasn't sloppy with what he was doing with what we saw in the fight with that guy right there. Yeah. When he fought Keith Thurman, he was pretty much like smudging his punches almost to where you really can't tell what it was that he was doing, or it wasn't landing clear at all when he was throwing shots. He was just basically looking sloppy is the word. Sloppy. And tonight, Porter showed us something different, even though he still had that same style, but he wasn't sloppy with his punches at all. And I'm talking about, I'm gonna go round from round all the way to the 9th round, telling you guys pretty much of what it was that I was seeing throughout this fight. And in the beginning of the round really set the tone, and it was phenomenal by Shawn Porter and Berto as well, because Shawn Porter started off great with utilizing the jab. I mean, his jab was looking terrific, honestly, in this fight. But Berto, hey, he was landing some combination shots as well in that first round. But then you move on to that second round, man, Shawn just really started working the body really good on Berto and just trying to break him down to the point to where Berto would not last if they went into the deep rounds, because of how effective he was in the body. And he started working that body really, really good towards the end of the first round, and then definitely more so in the second round. The second round was where we got the knockdown, where Porter was pretty much coming with the left hook counter to land the right hand, but he scored the knockdown. And he took a left counter punch from Berto to where he was trying to land the right hand, and therefore he got the knockdown. I looked at that wrong. But yeah, so Berto was knocked down in the second round, which put Berto behind on those cards. And as the fight continued, man, I mean, like, Shawn Porter was just so relentless. And it was to the point to where it was like almost Shawn rattled Berto in that third round. But Berto was thinking. You could tell he was thinking in the ring. And each time that Shawn Porter tried to mold on Andre Berto was landing that uppercut. Bow! He was landing that uppercut. And it was, to me, if he would have landed that uppercut flush, hold on one second. Oh, I'm sorry. But to me, if he would have landed that uppercut flush, it would have been lights out for Shawn Porter. But man, the fight continued, and it was just headbutt after headbutt, cuts. I think Porter was cut on both sides of his eye. Berto was cut, and the headbutts, to me, I think was being more effective on Andre Berto's behalf, because Berto seemed as if he was having like a light concussion almost because shots that Shawn was landing and Shawn was really like rattling Berto. And you could see Berto really coming off of his feet um, to the point to where it was like, okay, before you know it, he's about to get dropped. And man, the fight just continued. And before you know it, going into that ninth round, because in that eighth round, I was looking like, oh my God, like this is about to be crazy. Like this whole fight, because Porter was just seeming to like turn it up a whole nother notch as far as letting his punches go. And you would think that like it was about to be the end for Berto. And once it came to that ninth round, boom, that left hook landed so clean by Shawn Porter to where it just took Berto pretty much out of the game. Referee stood in, stopped the fight. But I will say this, before that left hook landed, Andre Berto did take a nasty headbutt, which was accidental from Shawn Porter, which rattled him. That's what rattled him. And the left hook that came after that was why the referee stopped the fight, because Shawn Porter, Andre Berto just put his hands down. And that was it. He put his hands down. And when he put his hands down, that pretty much solidified the fight right there. So now Shawn Porter is the mandatory for Keith Thurman. Keith Thurman did state that he will sit down, talk to Al Heyman to see if they'll go that route. We know Errol Spence is going to be fighting for the IBF title. We don't know if he'll unify with Errol Spence first, or he'll get a big money fight with Pacquiao maybe. Well, we know Pacquiao. I'm not sure what's going on with the Pacquiao and Horn fight. I thought it was official, but I'm not sure as of yet. I'll do more studying into that to give you guys the correct information on that. But definitely, Keith Thurman will perhaps fight his mandatory and Shawn Porter again later on this year. It remains to be seen. We will know. Keith did state that he would fight him, but I think he will give maybe Danny another shot before he gives Porter another shot. I mean, I'm not sure. Maybe maybe Shawn Porter needs to fight Danny Garcia. You know what I mean? To really see who should be the mandatory to fight Keith Thurman again. That's what I feel. That should happen. That Danny needs to fight Shawn Porter, so they could just go ahead and eliminate each other out, and the winner of that will be the number one contender for Keith Thurman WBC title. That's just how I see it. And right now, the welterweight division is looking real lovely. This was a really good fight to me from the beginning to the end. And I mean, it's just been a wonderful day. I mean, today I was able to go to Zahir Rahim's gym and work with his fighter, CR Barlow. And I was able to meet Zahir Rahim, meet Hector Camacho's trainer. It's just been a wonderful day, man. I put that footage up on Jeremy Sports Network. You can go ahead and check that out and check out what Zahir Rahim had on there and what he said about the fight. But it was just a really good fight. And I mean, the refs, if we go to the numbers, I'm gonna go to the numbers, man, and tell you guys like what the numbers were as far the official numbers for Berto Porter. Berto landed 21 of 96 of his jabs, while Porter landed 37 of 122. Like I said, Shawn Porter throw more punches than anybody. And when we go to the power punches, Berto landed 60 of 158, while Shawn Porter landed 138 out of 326. Wow. Then we go to the total punches overall. Berto landed 81 of 254, while Shawn Porter landed 175 out of 448 punches. That's what I told you guys. Hold on. Yeah, that's what I told you guys. Shawn Porter lands the most punches out of these two, and you could tell that through the CompuBox stats that Shawn Porter is always land more punches, and we saw that tonight. And he was very effective towards the body on Berto. Berto was not able to get off really on Shawn Porter because of the fact that Shawn Porter stayed inside. He stayed inside. He mowed him the whole fight. He was very relentless, and Andre Berto was not able to do anything. If they would have just boxed, if Berto was able to just box, then yes, Berto would have won the fight. He would have outboxed Shawn Porter. But Shawn Porter, that pressure that he brings, that's just what it is. The pressure that he brings, he is really unstoppable with that pressure. Now, he's not going to defeat, excuse me, man, my allergies are really getting to me. Oh, man. Thank you. But he's not going to defeat Keith Thurman at all, period. That's not going to happen. Reason why I say it's not going to happen is because he fights with one particular style, and Keith Thurman already know what he's going to do. Keith Thurman done defeated him before, and he'll defeat him again. That's why I say I really don't want this fight right now. Let him fight Danny Garcia. Let Shawn Porter fight Danny Garcia. Let them two cancel each other out. And then Keith fight them later. But I want to see Keith against maybe Errol Spence, Manny Pacquiao, or somebody else in the welterweight division who stand a chance, to at least knock on the throne of Keith Thurman, not Shawn Porter right now, because we done already seen this fight. Yes, it was fight of the year on last year, but this is a whole new year. This is a whole new ball game. And definitely right now with Keith being at the top of the welterweight division, I believe guys like Errol Spence, once he win his title, the IBF title, shoot, man, why not? Why not? Spence been calling out Thurman since Spence started making a name for himself in the welterweight division, and Thurman was not giving this man a chance and the opportunity at all. So he said when he do give Errol Spence an opportunity, it'll be when he get a title. Now think about that. Spence is fighting for his title. Thurman is pushing for Spence to beat Kell Brook. So why wouldn't Thurman want to go ahead, since he's already sitting at the top of the division, go ahead and fight Errol Spence right after Errol Spence defeat Kell Brook? It's to me, the welterweight division is really, really up for grabs right now with a bunch of tremendous fights. And tonight, man, it was just a beautiful showcase in boxing. I mean, I'm really finna dive into I'm looking right now at the HBO pay-per-view right now, right as I'm sitting here talking to you all. And I'm gonna talk about that a little bit later on the HBO fights. But man, Showtime, man, they are putting on phenomenal cards. I mean, what we saw tonight from Jermell Charlo with his knockout, and then turn around and see what happened with Berto and Porter. I mean, there's nothing that a boxing fan, a hardcore boxing fan, definitely like myself, should be complaining about at all, because we are getting the fights that we want, and that's what boxing should be giving us right now. And the fans who want to steer their way back into boxing, you're really missing out. And this is the time to tune in now, because you're really getting some excellent fights. And so Shawn Porter TKO's Berto in the 9th round. Jermell Charlo retains his WBC title. So he's looking for Jarrett Hurd. Jarrett Hurd better go ahead and doggone vacate his title, because, boy, you're going to get your ass whooped. I'm just saying. It's going to be ugly. And it may not even go past the 6th round like it just went with Charles Hadley. It may be a little bit earlier than that, because once you feel that power from Charlo, boy, he makes you readjust all your thinking. You better ask Charles Hadley. Seriously. But, like I said, this is an immediate reaction video to Shawn Porter versus Andre Berto and Jermell Charlo, like we talked about earlier, him winning his title. So this is Jeremy Sports Network, man. I'm I'm ending my day with boxing, man, after the HBO pay-per-view, and I'm about to tune in to Golden State Warriors. And I will be doing an immediate reaction show after the Golden State Warriors game, so tune in for that. This is Jeremy Sports Network signing out. Peace.